Thank you very much, Terry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you probably come together, we haven't actually got a sound system. It's all gone pear-shaped. So can you all hear us or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much, Terry Large. That's one of the oldest hunting sports, putting food on the table by means of a bird of prey. If you want to find out about the word musket, which many of you are familiar with, comes from the black powder musket, that actually was taken from the world of falconry. So we're using the world of falconry into the shooting world now. As you can see, we've got the modern shotgun, that's side by side. We'll be firing this one in just a moment. This is all to do with the art of decoying wood pigeons. Now, if you've never tasted wild wood pigeon, flash fried on the barbecue, and literally the same day as it's been shot, you literally haven't lived, folks. I'm a hunter-gatherer. I've been a hunter-gatherer all my life, and I'm going to pass on just a few of the secrets as well. Plus, we'll see if we can put the dog to work. If you do go shooting, you've got to have with you the services of a well-trained gun dog. You take a look at Jake. If you were here 12 months ago, you would have seen a perfect Andrex puppy. He was absolutely gorgeous. And look at the rubbish they turn into. Hey Jake, we're over here, son. He's exactly 12 months old. In fact, just a couple of weeks past 12 months. If he grows any more, I think he's going to be a polar bear when he's older. But he's going to be a working gun dog. We're going to take him wild fowling. That's the sport of hunting ducks and geese in the winter time, and also wood pigeons in the next month. Now, if you're a farmer, you'll know that the wood pigeon, that's this guy here, he's a bit of a menace. You've all seen him. The RSPB now tell us that this bird is one of the most common garden birds. You've all seen him? Probably seen him there on the bird table in your back garden.
Yeah.
It's a very fascinating creature, the wood pigeon. Have you ever heard the phrase a pigeon pair? Yeah? It's a phrase in the English language actually comes from the pigeon. When they lay their eggs, the female lays only 2 eggs, never more, and they're either male or female. Unique amongst bird world. So that's where we get the phrase pigeon pair from. They're either cousins, in other words, they're either male or female. This is the only bird that I know of that can actually drink. If you watch any bird, all birds have to take moisture, even Terry Large's falcon. They take moisture from the birds in the quarry that they catch. All other birds have to drink water. The wood pigeon has learned to suck. A fascinating bird. Terry Large's display with the falconry, that is after all the reason we can get our wild birds to come to decoy. Jake, touch your face. We'll come to you in a minute, son. Sit. Good lad. He says, if I wasn't on the lead, I wouldn't do that, Dad. So he's really backward. He's actually a real puppy. Still a very slow learner, and he's a juvenile delinquent. So it's going to be hard work training because he's such a slow learner, this dog. We'll come to him in just a moment. Where were we? The falcon. The wild peregrine falcon. You've got loads of them here in North Wales. Down in the Cornwall, where I live, we've got lots of them. People think they're rare. They are not. The trouble is, most people shuffle around their everyday life looking like this, looking at the pavement. If you look up there, that's where your peregrines are. And they're not uncommon at all. Well, as I say, that's the major predator of a wood pigeon. The peregrines at the moment are feeding their youngsters. They've got to catch a wood pigeon or any other pigeon, one bird every single day. And these birds have come to understand that the peregrine is its biggest enemy, which is why they feed in numbers. Stay there until he's told. He's got to learn all this. Okay, so when you go wild fowling, folks, when you go wild fowling, you can use the duck calls and the goose calls to bring your birds to you. You learn the skills of mimicking the right sounds. You can actually call them within range of the gun. For those of you people interested in the range of a 12-bore shotgun, from where you people are on that side of the ring, turn around and look down the avenue there. Look behind you. You've got 2 pigeons, decoys, floating on a big pole up there next to the BAC flag. That, from where you are, is the maximum effective range of a 12-bore shotgun. From where I am, they are too far. Understand? Okay, so we're going to be setting out the decoys, and now we're ready to go. Head's there, flexing his muscles. Okay, Jake, pay attention. You're facing the wrong way, son. You're facing the wrong way. Here. And stop leaning on the hide. Dogs always want to do that, always leaning on the hide, so we don't want them pulling the hide down. Have a bit of order, good lad, all good training, good boy, and stay there. So now we're going to be watching and waiting. And little missus at home, you're here for probably the whole bulk of the day on the autumn stubbles, and it's a magnificent world. When you're invisible, you see so many different things. Here comes a pigeon now, look. Remember the range of the gun. Stand by, hang on to your hats, hang on to your babies, hang on to your dogs. Are you ready? 50 yards and closing fast. It's curling round. 40, that's still a bit too far, a bit closer. And Jake, stay there. Now. Stay there. Excellent. You give him a round of applause. This took a long time. Okay, he's got his foot caught in the net. A brilliant example of what I've been trying to show you. Stay. Now that's exactly what I want. So picture the scene. If I've just shot a bird, that's a wood pigeon now, got him down. Where did it land anyway? Oh, it's over there. That was close. So the first thing I'll do is I'll empty my gun, because if there's other birds flying, if that bird's not properly dead, that's the reason for the dog. He can dash out, bring it back, I dispatch it, and there's me supper. It's as simple as that. So, put the gun away, that's now empty. The question is, has Jake remembered where it is too? Jake? Remember, the bird's over there, but the door is this side. He's got to remember this. Jake? Fetch him on, fetch him on. Good lad, and go back. I do not want him touching my decoys. No, fetch him on. Go back. I've got to train him to do this. Go back, leave it. Go back. Go back. He's using the wind, but there isn't a lot of wind to carry the scent. See, and also, if that dummy hasn't got my scent on it, that's interesting. Jake, go back. Very important. Hand signals with this sort of game. Go back. Fetch him on. Fetch him on. I left me whistle behind, actually. I was a bit.
Yeah, very good.
I grew up in the world of shooting when I was 11 years old. My dad, he was very strict, but he was very smart. He made sure that I knew how to handle a gun long before he let me have any cartridges. In fact, for 12 months, every time he took me out with him, he made me carry a big old duck gun around. For 12 months, and he never let me have any cartridges, but what he was doing is watching me every minute of the time we were out. After rabbits, pigeon, pheasant, ducks in the winter time, he was watching me. Now, I passed my apprenticeship at 12 years of age, and I shot the first pigeon when I was 12. Because Father had the trust of, well, I had the trust of Father, and that was a treasure beyond measure. I'm not joking, folks. So then, you notice this is a side-by-side. It's a 12-bore shotgun. This particular one is a 3-inch Magnum. It's a wildfowl gun for duck shooting. Now, the Victorians, interesting history this, the Victorians, brilliant engineers, they perfected this. In other words, the modern side-by-side shotgun cannot be made to work any better. Now, that was perfected 150 years ago. The Victorians we've got a lot to thank for, but it cannot be improved. There's nothing any engineer or a scientist with the powders or the shot can do to make it work any better. So then, the first thing to do with shotguns is you make sure that the barrels are clear. If you're clumsy, like last winter we had a lot of snow, and it's very easy to accidentally get a plug of snow in the muzzles of the gun. Mud, if you're out on the farmer's muddy fields, or in the wildfowling on the D estuary. You get the slimy, the estuary mud stuck in there, and you didn't check. If you fire a cartridge behind it, you'll blow the end of the gun right off. I'm not joking. I've seen guns that has had that happen. So you've got to double check, make sure the gun's clear. Notice the cartridge. Now this is a 3-inch cartridge. And you notice it's that little bit longer than a standard cartridge. What you have to remember is that you need to know the chamber length of your gun. So this is 3 inch, and I put it in a 2 3/4 inch chamber. It's obviously too short, and you could get some nasty bulges somewhere about here. So again, you need to learn this stuff. The golden rule with shooting, folks, is that you never ever point guns towards other people. If you watch me for the next half an hour, you will never catch me out. I'll always make sure I know where my gun barrel is pointed, and that's the secret that I learned when I was just 11 years old. Now inside the action is a very simple thing. This is not rocket science. You have a hammer which strikes a firing pin, which strikes the cap on the base of the cartridge. There you go. You'll see that in the firearms display from the BASE a bit later. That's a percussion cap. When you strike it, it goes crack. Now that flame ignites the main powder charge underneath the wad. It pushes the wad, which is a tight-fitting seal, in the bore, and on top of that you've got the shot. So the whole lot gets driven down the barrel. So it's important to remember that the hammer is fired by a mainspring. The mainspring is caught in the hammer, and the triggers are there ready to pull the trigger to release the hammers. It's not rocket science, it's really simple. Now, it's a quick point here, and this is something if you play pigeon shooters, if you want to go up a step and go live quarry shooting, like pigeon shooting, you're going to find you need to get out of your stupid habits. You know who you are. I see it every time I go on a clay pigeon shoot. You can hear them down there. They'll stand in the trap, like so, and you can see the target, see where the target's going, and then they'll load their gun. So in goes the cartridges. What do? Slam the gun up like this. Look where it's pointing, folks. That is a very, very silly thing to do. It's a very bad habit to get into. All right, and you know who you are, right? The way to close a gun properly is with a stock up to the barrels. You have to remember, and I have truly seen this, a gun that's not been serviced properly, an old farmer's gun, literally go bang when it's slammed shut like that. Now look where it's pointing, folks. That is not the way to close a gun. The way to close a gun is with a stock up to the barrels. If it did fail, it goes off harmlessly into the ground there. Okay, so that's hopefully that's fully understood. Now all guns are fitted with a safety catch. Do not be fooled by this. The gun makers have really got this wrong for the last 200 years. The safety catch does nothing more than stop the triggers from being pulled. It does not stop the hammer from striking the pin which fires the cartridge. And that's where the manufacturers have always got it wrong, in my firm belief. So you never rely on the safety. That is a golden rule. The best safety you can ever have is to make sure your gun barrels are always pointed up in the air at all times. Got me? Right. Now then, before my dog finally strangles himself, I'm going to fire a shot. Jake, is the fight finished? Now, if you do go shooting, you've got to have a dog. Now, this guy, he's only 12 months old, just over 12 months. And the noise from the shotgun is very loud. Because when I go pigeon shooting, I'll be shooting from a position like a hide, a bit like you see there. And Jake's going to have to sit in there patiently for anything up to 8 hours a day. So he's got to be steady and well used to the loud bangs. What you have to remember is that the bang from the shotgun is actually very, very loud. It actually breaks the sound barrier. Now, the speed of sound travels at 1,100 feet per second. It's pretty damn quick. So, when he was younger, I trained him with these metal dinner bowls because I wanted to associate this loud bang with something he enjoys, called food. And so I used to bang his metal dinner bowl against the side of his kennel, very gently when he was a small pup, and over time, over a long period of time, he got louder and louder. Until I got to the stage where wherever he was in the garden, I could bang this metal dinner bowl really loudly, and he'd come straight up and sit because he knows it's dinner time. That's a really simple trick to use. So then, I've now got him used to the loud bang, and it really is loud, so you have to hang on to your hats, all right? I hope you can hear that. Hang on to your hats. Now, you youngsters, there's a young person over there, a little person. This may be a bit loud for him. All right. Okay? Good lad, that's what I'm thinking. Okay then, so when you do this for the first time, you need to be at a distance, and you need to make sure that you've got the gun at a far enough distance so that the dog is not fazed by it. You do not want to rush into this if you've got an unsteady or indeed an excitable dog. Jake, what you've got to do is get this eye contact. He's got his eye firmly fixed on your baby there. Jake, stay. He says, I've got to, Dad, because I'm tied to a goose, so I'm tied to a stick with a piece of string. Good boy. Right, are you ready now? Stand by! Don't watch me, watch him. That's exactly what I wanted. Sorry about all that stuff. It's grim, isn't it? I've got a pigeon there, I didn't even see it.